There is this huge but hidden problem with XRP. And that problem is not regulatory risk, it's not the SEC, it's not the lawsuit, it's not the listing or delisting on centralized exchanges, and it's not the central control of one single company. The problem I'm talking about is the reason why we moved away from fiat in the first place, why we are embracing crypto. What I'm talking about is token inflation, and it's huge for XRP. In the last 10 years, the circulating supply of XRP, so the number of XRP tokens that are floating around, it grew on average per year 44%. So for the price to be stable, the XRP adoption has to grow every single year by 44%. By buying XRP, you're betting on the token to grow faster than 44% per annum. Here, have a look at this. This is Messari.io and it shows the circulating supply of XRP over time. Now we are at 52.54 billion XRP tokens, and in 2013 we started off with 1.3 billion. So 52.54 divided by 1.3, and we set this to the power of 1 divided by 10 to get the annual inflation, 44.7%. Now, isn't this interesting? We are exiting the fiat system in order to be safe from inflation, to be safe from devaluation of our currency, but then we invest in something that's even higher in inflation, where more circulating supply is hitting the market every single year. The Federal Reserve does not expand their balance sheet by 44% per year. It's less than 10% per year usually. But here's the interesting part. The US dollar valuation of XRP actually did not go down in the last 10 years. It went up. So it's all okay, right? US dollar profit is US dollar profit. It's still better than holding fiat. But let's look at this in a bit more detail. This is what most people look at, right? This is the XRP price, and it's denominated in US dollars here on a logarithmic scale. On a linear scale, those price rallies, they look way more dramatic, right? But a logarithmic scale shows the percentage changes better. So the horizontal difference over here is the same percentage change as the horizontal difference over here. So when you're looking at percentage gains, you should look at the logarithmic scale. So when you're on TradingView, you can change this over here, right? This is logarithmic. This is linear. Let's go back to logarithmic. Now, this vertical line over here is when the SEC sued XRP. And the US dollar price since the lawsuit actually went up by 22% roughly. But here's the interesting part. Let's look at the market cap of XRP since the lawsuit. The market cap went up by 44%. So this means there's now 44% more capital in XRP, but the price only went up by 20-something%. That's because of the token inflation, because of the ever expanding numbers of XRP that are floating around. Most cryptocurrencies have an expanding supply, even Bitcoin does. Bitcoin's inflation is currently at 1.74% per annum, and it gets cut in half every 4 years with the halving event. The question is always about opportunity cost. Can the community grow that quickly that it outpaces the inflation? And for Bitcoin, there's much less pressure for growth than for XRP. So why don't we make that comparison? Why don't we look at XRP denominated in Bitcoin? So how did XRP over the years perform versus Bitcoin? How did it perform since the lawsuit? This here is the long-term XRP chart versus Bitcoin. So the XRP price divided by the Bitcoin price. It's a chart of 10 years. XRP underperformed Bitcoin by 61%. And again, the vertical line is the lawsuit. And see how XRP underperformed Bitcoin even after the partial win versus the SEC by 28%. So that's November of 2020. Let's have a look by how much the supply increased since then. So again, we are now at 52.54 billion. And November of 2020, we had been at 33.79 billion. So the supply of XRP expanded by 55.48%. The supply of Bitcoin, meanwhile, maybe expanded by like 5% or so. 4, 5, 6%, something around that region, right? It's several years. And it started off with 3.5% per annum and then got cut to 1.74%. So that's roughly 50 percentage points more inflation for XRP than for Bitcoin. And so all of that underperformance of XRP versus Bitcoin since the lawsuit can be explained by the inflation. One might even give respect to the XRP army because XRP obviously grew faster than Bitcoin. Otherwise, it would be underperforming by 50% or so during that time period. But it only underperformed by 28%. So it wasn't that bad. But still, as a long-term hold, the pressure on XRP is higher than its growth. And that's a very tricky hidden thing about XRP that a lot of people don't know. 1% per annum inflation isn't that big of a deal. Some coins get lost from time to time. But already when we are at 2 or 3%, we do see the value decline over time. That's in the end why we exit fiat. The target long-term inflation of fiat is 2% per annum. Of course, we do see more printing in fiat than just 2%, but the consumer prices don't grow that much. All that additional cash goes into the assets. But 55% inflation over the span of roughly 3 years for XRP, it's really hard to outgrow. It defeats the purpose of storing your capital in such an asset. I don't dare to predict where XRP is in the next week or where it's in the next month, but I would not be surprised if it continues to underperform over the next, say, 5 years, simply because the inflation is so high and simply because it's very hard to grow that quickly over the very long term. There is an opportunity in all of this. What we see with XRP is something we can also see in many other altcoins. A lot of altcoins inflate, a lot of altcoins do poorer than Bitcoin. There's only very few altcoins that outperform Bitcoin over the long term. In other words, we can bet on falling prices in relative relation to Bitcoin and make money from that as well. So there's really no need to try to pick the one altcoin that does better than Bitcoin. Simply just bet on most altcoins doing worse than Bitcoin. You can already generate outsized performance. Now, making money with falling prices is actually easier than making money from rising prices. And that's because of the return distribution in crypto. Very few altcoins outperform Bitcoin and Ethereum. The vast majority has very poor tokenomics. It has expanding token supply. It doesn't have enough people jumping onto the project. It has a lot of potential competition, and that makes most altcoins underperform. So it is easier to bet on falling prices of the poorest altcoins than it is to find the needle in the haystack, to find the one altcoin that might do better than Bitcoin. If you just select a random altcoin out of the top 100, chances are that you're going to do worse than Bitcoin. The chances are probably above 80%. So it's easier to generate alpha on top of just holding Bitcoin by betting on falling prices of poor performers. And the first time where I did this very publicly on the YouTube channel was with the Pancake Swap token. So this is the chart, Cake relative to BNB. It really crashed. And we totally anticipated this crash more than 50% because of the unlock of the staking program of Cake. Now you don't have to trust me, simply just look at the history in premium here with the keyword Cake. We talked about this all the time, starting even from the 3rd of January 2023. So this was over here. And so this is how I handle my videos. I never delete any premium video. I never delete any YouTube video. You can track back what I've said in the past and simply look at how this ages. And I'm for sure not right all the time, but since statistics are in our favor when we bet on falling prices, I am more often right than wrong when it comes to shorting altcoins. Now here's another example. This is Filecoin. This is falling relative to Bitcoin. It's still an open position. Then we've got Optimism. I have talked about this Optimism short already on YouTube, and I still keep that open. I don't think that as to date, which is the 5th of June 2023, that the team and the early backers have already sold. Most of the price depreciation we see so far is probably from short speculative money such as us. There's also other very profit-making positions. This one, for example, I'm not going to disclose this openly now. This is part of premium. Here's another one that we expect to very soon go further down. Again, part of premium. And so that's why the relatively high price of $75 per month is worth it. There is real alpha, real outperformance in the premium membership. If you've got $5,000 that you're willing to dedicate to crypto investments, then I'm very sure that the money that you spend on premium will more than make up for it. The crypto market is simply that inefficient. It's way easier to beat crypto than it is, for example, the stock market, where there's now so many professional investors already in it. But I do understand how spending $75 on a monthly subscription might feel somewhat daunting at the beginning. But I did see how most people simply stay subscribed for the long term because of all of those opportunities. And so here comes the deal. If you are unhappy with the content that comes with premium, if you are dissatisfied, then I will refund you 100% if you message me in the first week. So you sign up, you watch all the videos, you download all the content you want, you check out the Telegram channels, etc. And if after 1 week you don't feel like you get adequate value out of this, then message me in Telegram or email me and you get all your money back. I will simply just refund you within Stripe. I'm that certain that it's really worth it. So there's really no downside for you. There's only upside for trying it out. I really wouldn't know a reason why you wouldn't just give it a shot. So looking forward to see you on Premium. Looking forward to see you in the Premium chats, in the Premium Telegrams. We discuss various opportunities over here. And of course, thanks for watching this video. Bye-bye.